your brother. I was just reminiscing on the UJ days, I was a student at the University of Johannesburg. Um, it was an incredible time. Um, I forged long life friendships there, you know, uh, brothers I keep in contact with to this day, even though I'm not there anymore. We used to have incredible political debates. We agreed, we disagreed, we argued, critical, and that really formed me. Um, I remember at UJ we had these benches, um, not too far from the student center. They were called the F7 benches because typically that's where the F7 students would typically chill, if you can call it that. It was perceived that people who chilled there a lot are those who are at risk, students at risk. But we transformed that space. Myself, Tsepo Moloi, Buhabo, Pusho, uh, Andile, you know, hey, Ernest Nkomonje, I could never forget him. Um, it was an incredible time. And these are brothers I had in my circle, and hey, they disagreed with me a lot. And I think that was important, you know. Um, and so, yeah, we changed the F7 benches. We went to chill there for critical political discourse. And then we rebranded the F7 benches for students at risk into umGabulo benches. And so I was quite engaged in student activity at UJ. So I had my own student society. It was called Ubuntu Awakening. Um, and what I used to do every year, I would have maybe 2 or 3 events where I would invite different student political formations. I would bring in SASCO, the ANC's youth arm. I would bring EFF. I would bring PASMA, Pan African Congress, the youth arm of PAC. I'll bring them in and say, hey, let's talk, let's engage, critical. And of course, I would do the opening address to set the tone, um, and I would say, let's engage, let's test our ideas, measure them against reality and all of that. Those were incredible times, you know. Um, I I would bring those guys in and say, hey, come through. You know? Let's engage on these ideas that you claim so much. So I was just reflecting on that, and I thought, hey, man, let me share this experience and have it recorded that I acknowledge these people who have named, as having had such an impact on my own personal development. Um, yeah, so there are brothers that I met when I was at UJ who, even years later, when we meet, they say to me, hey, what's Haulisa? Or umGabulo, by the way, is a critical political discourse. It's a sort of an ANC tradition thing. But yeah, we inherited it and brought, some serious critical discourse onto the campus. and we turned F7 benches into umGabulo benches. So yeah, when I meet brothers now who knew me then, they're like, hey, yeah, I remember you. Hey, what's Gauli Sayaz? So yeah, umGabulo of it. Let's critically engage. Let's continue to critically engage. Let us not run away from critical engagement, you know, uh, in pursuit of populism. The worst thing ever.